Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Smith, and I'm going to be talking about Charity Hospital and its history. Charity Hospital was founded on May 18, 1736, by Jean Louise, who was a French sailor and a shipbuilder. The purpose of this hospital was able to have a hospital for the colony of New Orleans at the time. The first name of the hospital was Hospital St. John or Hospital for the Poor. At the time, the hospital was located on Charter Street and Bentonville Street, which is now the French Quarter. Charity Hospital had a troubling history due to financial problems. Different organizations and different people had given the money to continue to operate, such as the Public Works Administration. The hospital was rebuilt and renamed multiple times due to the Great Fire, and whenever Spain took over Louisiana in 1736, naming it San Carlos Hospital. One year, the hospital was ranked number two for Level 1 Trauma Center in the United States. In 1847, the hospital was turned into a teaching hospital for LSU and Tulane medical students, becoming the medical department of University of Louisiana. And in 1884, Paul Tulane gave $1.25 million to build Tulane University and a medical department. Charity Hospital was built multiple times due to fires, different commands, and state laws. The original hospital had outgrown the room for patients and decided to move the hospital to the bigger facility on Bassin Street. A year later, a different hospital was built after Spain took over Louisiana in 1763. In 1809, New Orleans had a fire that destroyed the hospital, causing it to be relocated 3 times before the fourth one was finished. Whenever the fourth one was finished, it was built on the edge of Canal Street. However, it was heavily criticized as inadequate and underfunded. The fifth hospital was built on Common Street between 3 other streets, Howard, Robertson, and Rivier. The final building was built in 1939 to comply with the segregation laws at the time. In the last building, it was built in an H shape, which each wing belonged to Tulane or LSU Medical Services to divide incoming patients equally. In 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, causing thousands of people to lose their homes, jobs, and loved ones. Whenever it hit Louisiana, it was a Category 4, and it hit throughout the southeast of New Orleans, and then after it continued towards the northeast. The rainfall from the hurricane landed into Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Bourg, causing the levees to break and flood the streets. Nearly 20% of the city was underwater. During the hurricane, staff workers had to secure the building the best way they can and help the patients that were inside the building with them. The building took the storm pretty well, but the backup generator ended up going out and they had no power in the building to use the machines. In the basement, the water started to rise, causing the medical team to move the patients to a higher floor, including some of the equipment. Patients were tagged according to the condition: red for the most critical, yellow for those who were sick but didn't require constant attention, and greens for those who could hold their own. The medical staff was able to get attention of a National Guard member and help them out the hospital by taking them to the roof of the Tulane to get picked up by a helicopter. Inside the building, the temperature rose above to 100 degrees, essential supplies were getting low, and our toilets were backed up. After Katrina, a temporary clinic named Spirit of Charity was a temporary clinic that was established at the convention center. Later, it was moved to the New Orleans Center near the Superdome. In 2007, a new hospital called Interim LSU Hospital took over what Charity Hospital was for the past years. The new hospital took on the emergency care throughout the New Orleans area. In August of 2015, Charity Hospital and University Hospital was replaced by LSU Health Sciences Center. The building had plans to reopen, but the new medical services were already made by the time the building was planned to reopen. In 2006, the Foundation of Historical Louisiana hired RMJM Healer to evaluate the hospital to determine whether to repair or restructure the building. Healer determined that the structure of the building was exceptional and ahead of its time. However, the idea was pushed aside due to the new hospital and other medical centers like Southeast Louisiana Veterans Healthcare were already built. Do I think that Charity Hospital deserves to be reopened? Yes. Will they have enough money to reopen it? Probably not. The building estimated cost was about $300 million to rebuild it. This building has a place in history for what it has gone through for the past decades. The medical staff in the building helped thousands of people to leave out the building and to get the help they needed. And as of right now, the hospital is the second oldest building in the United States.